Jesus. Yoksomina, and welcome back to Let's Play the Somnium Files. Last time we did a bad ending, so we're gonna try again. We are on the route now where we have chosen to disbelieve Iris and her crazy conspiracy theory because, let's be honest, it sounded pretty crazy. Do you believe any of this?
Date, you don't believe Tessa, right?
Right.
You don't believe Nizit laws exists?
No, I don't.
Then why was she almost kidnapped?
I don't know. But it might have something to do with Renju.
The more logical explanation.
He was looking for Iris.
In any case, we don't know who's behind it. But we know she's in danger. Which is why I came here. I need you to hide Iris.
What?
I need to go somewhere.
To Hitomi's residence.
Yeah, I need to talk to her immediately.
Where is she?
There's a room back there she kinda made her own. She's probably there.
She certainly made herself at home. Has Iris been back there before?
Yeah, Tessa's been here a few times.
There a problem?
Well, yeah. If you make her mad, you make me mad.
Well, I guess you'll have to be mad then. She had to hear the truth. The cold, hard truth.
Even if that's true, you could have worded it nicer. You could have handled this better, Date.
I think so as well. You
Thanks,
are
Iva.
as clumsy as ever.
Well, summarize.
Hide Iris? I mean, I don't mind, but... why here?
The organization that I'm in may have a traitor. So I can't take her to HQ. That of course means that I can't take her to my house either. So I thought this diner would be a good place. Her enemies wouldn't look for her here. If she's here with you guys, I know that she's safe.
Wait, you guys?
Yeah, I'm expecting one more. Any minute now.
Here she comes. Best girl Mizuki.
Mizuki?
Don't worry, I understand everything. I'll protect Iris.
Anyway, if they do manage to find her here, having Mizuki around should help, right?
Right. I know how strong she is.
Good luck, you two.
Why do you know that?
Thanks, Date.
That's a question that needs to be answered. But we won't find out. So let's just continue on to the Sagan residence. Tuesday, 1:44 a.m.
Date.
I'm sorry for coming so late. I need to talk to you about Iris.
What is it?
I steeled myself and continued.
Iris said something to me that was very concerning. She said she's being targeted by an organization called Nizit Laws, and that she needs help. Does any of this sound familiar?
I decided not to tell her about the shooting at Golden Yokocho. I didn't want her to worry. After a while, Hitomi spoke.
I didn't intend to hide it from you. I just never found the right time.
Huh?
She's sick. Iris has a malignant brain tumor.
A brain tumor?
Well, that explains a lot.
It makes her say strange things sometimes.
I see. Her delirium could be a result of a brain tumor. It can also cause hallucinations and violent thoughts. It makes sense. Everything Iris said was likely a result of her condition.
I summarized it so bluntly, so calmly, but I couldn't stay calm. But I... Anyway. The words malignant... Fuck. Malignant brain tumor circled my mind. Does she know?
I didn't tell her the specifics, but I'm sure she knows.
How long has she been sick?
We found out in January. She suddenly collapsed at school. She went to the hospital and they examined her. They found a tumor. According to the doctor, surgery wouldn't help.
You mean?
Grade 4. Terminal. She has a year to live. At most. That's what
Oh.
the doctor told me.
That's
And if
where
we were
her
right,
weird
then
statement comes
She only
from.
has a few months left.
Because sometime real soon,
I'm going
I'm
to
going
die.
to die.
About her disease.
It's a brain tumor. It can cause
It
a
is.
number of side effects. Nausea and dizziness.
Ah. Yeah.
Sometimes her hands and legs go numb.
Oh, when she dropped the spoon. Okay.
Sometimes she can't control her body temperature.
No, but I am kind of warm.
What? That was all caused by her brain tumor?
Has Iris contacted you?
Yes. She said she was staying with a friend. She's with Mizuki, but it still bothers me. I'm so worried that I couldn't sleep.
Is there any way to save her life?
Ordinary treatments won't work, but there is one way to save her life.
Which is?
Date, it's from Mizuki.
Oh.
Why now? Sorry, could you excuse me?
I stood up and went to the corner of the room to answer Mizuki's call. Looking like a total loon, I'm sure, in the process.
Dante, I'm sorry.
What? What happened?
Iris, she's gone. She disappeared. I only took my eyes off her for a second.
What? Where did she go?
I don't know. That's why I'm calling. But she left a note on the table. Oh, just sent you a picture. Did you get it?
I have it now. Opening.
I'm going with the person I trust most. Please don't worry about me, Iris. Falco.
Iris.
Has to be.
I have tried calling Iris with a different line. I cannot connect. It is probable that she turned her phone off.
Damn. Mizuki, let's split up and find her. Let Ota know too.
Got it.
Did something happen?
She was eavesdropping, of course. No point hiding it. I told her that Iris was missing.
What?
Hitomi went quiet. She didn't ask why she disappeared. I'm sure she thinks it's the tumor. She thinks that Iris's illness is making her go insane.
Iris said that she was going with somebody. With the person she trusts most. Any idea who that might be?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna go look for her.
So many
I'll go
ellipses.
too.
No, please, stay here. She might come home.
But
It's all right. I'll find her. Trust me.
Okay.
Date, the person in Iris's letter, the one she trusts most. Who do you think that is?
Who does Iris trust most? Uncle.
I see. The man Hitomi was dating 6 years ago.
He was a thoughtful, reliable man. I thought of him as a father.
But Iris said that she was looking for him. What are the odds she found him just now? I don't think that's possible.
Renju.
I think so too. Remember what Iris said?
I look up to him. He's done so much for me. I know I can rely on him more than anyone else.
Oh, yeah, I completely forgot that. Okay.
According to the mermaid at Sunfish Pocket,
He was looking for Iris.
Maybe he knows a way to cure her
I
condition.
think Renju called Iris.
And Iris went looking for him.
Exactly.
Then what can I do? We've been looking for Renju. Everyone at HQ is looking for him too. Not to mention he's on the run with number 89. And even with all of that, we haven't found him. We don't even have any leads.
If we only had some clues to work with.
Then we wouldn't be in this mess.
Are you giving up? Iris might be with number 89 at this very moment. We need to find her immediately. Now think, Date. Where would Renju go?
I guess the cold storage warehouse is not an option. Okay. Lemniscate?
I got a call from Mizuki. She went to Lemniscate, but no one was there.
Okay. Sunfish? That'd be like the
Until
first place I would
Alex
have
searched
checked.
Sunfish Pocket.
Yeah.
It's open for business. However,
No
Iris was
Renju.
not there.
No Iris.
I didn't ask about Renju, but I am sure that he would have told us.
His house?
Renju's house is currently occupied by officers from HQ. If he went back there, we would have been contacted.
Oh, there it is. Thank you for making me have to go through all that rigmarole to
Cold
go
storage
back to the
warehouse.
first thing I
Maybe
thought
he's
of.
there.
Among Us Switch. Okay. I don't care about Among Us though. I mean, I like watching people play it. I think I've gone on this tangent before, so we're not going to again. Also, take good care of your heart. It's important. Just gonna put that out there. The cold storage warehouse, 2:53 a.m. Well, she's not sawed in half on the tables. That's good.
There is no one here.
Damn. He's not here. Let's go, Ida.
Wait.
What's wrong? Is there someone here?
No living organisms detected.
Then...
No living organisms detected.
Oh.
you mean...
Let's search the area. We might be able to find something.
The switchboard installed in the back of the warehouse. There's nothing strange about it. An oil drum. Nothing looks like a clue. Cardboard box on the shelf. Nothing wrong there. A wooden box. Cardboard box on the floor. It's empty. A forklift. Nothing unnatural. Ice cutting machine. It cuts people. Forklift. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
No. This can't be. Iris.
Day 5, Tuesday. Jutai.
Have you settled down? The scene is being inspected without you. This time the body didn't disappear. However, you lost consciousness. I didn't expect you to faint. Seeing that corpse must have been incredibly shocking. I did not predict you to be the fainting type. I suppose humans are unpredictable. Now that you're back, let's get back to business. You are conscious, are you not? Are you at a loss for words? Date, don't let negative thoughts consume you.
Hello?
Thinking that Iris died because of me. If I never took her to Ota's, this wouldn't have happened. If you truly believe that, then your brain is completely rotten. Or perhaps when you saw the corpse, your head became filled with images of blooming yellow dandelions.
What the heck does that mean?
Oh, you're talking now. Was I correct? If you consider the situation logically, even an elementary school student would understand.
Huh?
I guess that makes me dumber than an elementary school student.
Allow me to pluck some of those dandelions from your mind. I will ask 3 questions. Please answer honestly.
Okay. She's giving us a personality test.
The cold storage warehouse was not in regular operation.
Mm-hmm.
But even so, the AC was on, and a minus 58-degree temperature was maintained.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
Why does the warehouse have to be kept at freezing temperature? Ice cream! To preserve something?
To preserve something.
Yes. Let us move on to the next question. Second question. There was something strange about the corpse. Do you remember what that was?
is missing its right eye.
That is a unique factor. But there was something else, something more peculiar.
Something more peculiar than that. I was completely frozen.
Iris's body was completely frozen. The temperature read -58. With Iris's weight. Just wondering, but how much do you weigh?
Don't you know it's rude to ask a lady that?
105 pounds.
I see. 105, huh? It should have taken about 18 hours to freeze solid. But we were...
Wait a moment. Before you draw your conclusion, allow me to ask my final question.
Okay.
Question 3. 2 days ago, Sunday night, you found a dead body in the cold storage warehouse.
Mm-hmm. Where are you going with this, Ivo?
But afterward, you visited the Sagan household and discovered that Iris was in fact still alive. Why?
How could Iris still be alive? Because I saved her?
Because we saved her. We saved her and so Somnium.
Date, think logically. What occurs in dreams does not affect reality. And parallel worlds? That is even less possible. So if that's the case...
Iris is actually dead? That makes no
I
sense.
see. I understand now. Maybe we're thinking about this all wrong. Iris isn't alive. She's dead. I saw the ghost of Iris.
Mr. Date, it's time for your medication.
The corpse was a hallucination?
What I saw on Sunday must have been a hallucination. It was a dream.
No, Date. You're overthinking it. You saw the corpse. But Iris was alive.
Uh-huh.
Which means...
I don't know.
You mean?
You've got it.
No, I still... What? What do you mean you've got it? I bolted into the warehouse like I was shot out of a gun. This isn't Iris's corpse? Shouldn't this body have a skeleton?
I don't believe it.
The stomach is swollen slightly. She appears to have been pregnant.
What?
How?
Do not worry. The uterus does not contain a fetus.
You mean after she was killed?
No, the fetus was not present in her body when she was killed. She must have been killed after giving birth.
What?
The distended stomach does not immediately shrink after birth.
What?
The expanded uterus takes some time to return to its normal size.
What? What?
This evidence makes one thing perfectly obvious.
This isn't
This
Iris?
corpse isn't Iris. It's someone else.
Which means...
Iris is still alive.
not necessarily. She could be alive. We haven't confirmed that yet.
Thank you for that cold, hard truth.
Multiple stab wounds with a single-edged, sharp object to the victim's back. Judging by the size and shape of the marks,
Kitchen
the
knife.
weapon was most likely a kitchen knife. This matches what you said on Sunday.
So this is the body I saw then. Is there an estimated time of death?
Impossible to determine. This body has been completely frozen for at least 10 years.
What?
10 years? She was killed more than 10 years ago?
Exactly. Her identity is unknown. Her killer is also unknown. But there is one likely suspect.
Wait, we saw this body in Mizuki's Somnium.
Let's consider the clues. The scene. Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse.
Wait, are we about to say...
Sunday night, we saw Sohi.
Oh, okay.
And there is something else about Sosajima. We witnessed someone similar to Iris being stabbed repeatedly in So's Somnium.
But it wasn't Iris. It was this woman.
That is highly likely.
What we saw was So's memory from more than 10 years ago.
I believe that is the case.
But, wait.
Renju and So?
But we still do not know where Renju is.
That means that we need to talk to
Sosajima.
Alright, here we go again. What's the statute of limitations on murder? I believe, according to Detective Conan, it was 15 years. No. Phoenix Wright? It was one of the two that taught me that. Or maybe both. Mizuki and Ota kept searching for Iris, but unfortunately they didn't turn up anything. Iris's whereabouts are still unknown. I'm worried about her, but without any leads, we'd just be looking for her blindly. I should focus on the investigation for now. Excuse me. It will eventually lead me to Iris, I'm sure of it. With that in mind, I headed to So's mansion.
I thought I told you never to show your face here again.
Yeah, I don't take orders too kindly. A garden still. Oops.
I didn't come here for Shoko today. I didn't come here for Iris either. Instead, I'm here for a girl who looks like Iris. Did you kill her?
Date, look.
I knew it. You killed her, didn't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I've had enough of your shit, Congressman! You wanted to check on the body of the girl you killed. That's why you were at the cold storage warehouse 2 days ago.
Keep going. Shit's getting good.
Where is Renju Okiura? You know where he is, don't you? You were at an Okiura fishery warehouse for a reason. There's definitely a connection between you two. And that's not all. Number 89 called your secretary. The same number 89 that Renju escaped with. Now tell me, where is
It's all
Renju?
falling into place. Suddenly, a gang of bodyguards stormed out of the mansion. Should have brought Mizuki. In an instant, they surrounded me.
We'd like to ask you to please leave.
Damn it, So!
There's nothing we can do. We did arrive without a warrant. We were technically trespassing. If he had called the police, we would be in a predicament. We would have been detained immediately. Who would look after Iris then? Do you intend to leave your responsibility with Mizuki and Ota? Calm down, Date. We still have our lead.
Lead?
Before I explain, we need to discuss the corpse in the cold storage warehouse.
Okay.
Let's give her a name. Because she is frozen solid, we could call her All Ice or Alice. What do you think? Alice and Iris. I believe it fits nicely.
Okay.
All right, Alice. What about her?
Someone might be able to identify her.
Who?
Allow me to ask you 3 questions.
Again?
Again with this?
First question. You have seen this corpse more than twice.
Yes.
3 times, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
When was the first time?
Mizuki Somnium. Shit. 3 days ago?
3 days ago. Saturday night when I synced at Abyss.
Yes, in the Somnium world. We saw the frozen corpse of a girl. Question 2. Who is the girl?
But we don't know. Oh, Alice.
Now I know. That girl was probably Alice.
Most likely, yes. So we have technically known Alice for 3 days.
Again with this all ice thing.
One last thing. The final question. In which Somnium did we see Alice?
Cause no. Let me recompose my thoughts. This subject came up in frickin' Zero Escape too. Mizuki's.
My roommate, Mizuki Okino.
Exactly. You mentioned something about Mizuki's Somnium being some kind of prophecy. But prophecies are nonsense. Dreams are not made of the future. They are made from the past. Therefore...
Mizuki has seen Alice before.
there is no other explanation.
Iba, where is Mizuki now?
Where we went with Iris yesterday, the Kume Shrine.
The shrine? Why would she be there?
Unknown. She is supposed to be looking for Iris.
Okay, let's go.
This shrine, man. Ikume Shrine, 2:40 p.m. Still Tuesday.
Date,
Did you find Iris?
if I did, I would have told you already.
Right.
Where's Renju?
I think Iris is with Renju.
With Daddy?
Yeah. Her note mentioned her most trusted person. It's probably Renju.
Yeah. I remember that mermaid girl saying something like that.
No, please don't do it again. This is already eating up enough time as it is.
He was looking for Iris.
Yes, I know.
Does that mean that Daddy is the one who called for Iris?
It could be. So I need to know where he is.
But I haven't been able to get a hold of him.
What are you doing here?
Iris used to like this shrine. She told me about all her memories here. We used to come here all the time. You know those steps in the front? We would sit there together and talk about things. Like what gluten-free means, and eyelash extensions, and aerial yoga. And we
The
would talk
heck is
about all our
aerial
problems
yoga?
together. Sometimes we would talk late into the night. So I thought that maybe she'd be here. But it looks like I was wrong.
Where's Otto?
I think he's searching Akihabara. Last time he checked in, he said he didn't have anything.
Okay. So about Alice.
Mizuki, I have something very important to ask you.
I told Mizuki about the frozen corpse we call Alice.
You've seen her before, haven't you? 3 days ago, I saw her in your Somnium. The body of a girl who looks like Iris, Alice. Your dreams are built from your memories. So that corpse... Mizuki, please, answer me. Iris's life is at stake.
Huh? What do you mean?
I told Mizuki everything. About how Renju ran off with the assassin number 89. How number 89 is connected to So Sejima. That says Alice now. And that Sejima is linked to Alice's murder.
I need to know everything about Alice. If I find out who she is, I might be able to solve the mystery of Renju and number 89. And that might lead me to Iris.
Mizuki looked down at her feet quietly. I could see agony in her face. The silence lingered. Finally, she steeled herself, lifted her head, and spoke.
Okay, I'll tell you about Alice.
So about Alice.
It was about a month ago. I saw my dad crying in the president's office at Lemniscate. I was peeking through a crack in the door so he didn't see me. Daddy got up, then got into his car and drove away. I had never seen him like that before. I was curious, so I followed him in a taxi. That led me to the cold storage warehouse. He got out of his car and went inside. I followed right behind him, quietly.
Because she's a ninja.
I was standing next to the forklift in the back. I hid behind a shelf. I watched Daddy open the hood of the forklift, and then, after a little bit, he left. I wanted to know what he was looking at. I went over to the forklift and I looked under the hood myself. And then...
You saw Alice's dead body.
But at the time, I thought it was Iris.
What'd you do after that?
The corpse looked exactly like Iris. I couldn't believe she was dead. I just couldn't. So I went to Iris's house. Huh? What's wrong, Mizuki? Iris was alive. I thought I was going crazy. Or dreaming. I tried to convince myself that it was just a hallucination.
Why didn't you call the police?
What was I supposed to do? Daddy would have been in trouble.
So you kept quiet this whole time?
Yeah.
Did you talk to Renju about it?
What do you mean? I couldn't just ask. I changed everything. I thought that as long as I stayed quiet, everything would be okay. I didn't see a dead body. I wasn't even at the warehouse. I repeated that to myself over and over and tried to forget the whole thing.
Repressed memories are often a subject of somnia.
That's why Alice showed up during the sync.
I actually met with one of the higher-ups at Daddy's company last night, before I went to Matsushita Diner.
Why?
Because you asked about the cold storage. I was curious. I asked around some, and... I found out that Daddy was managing the warehouse before I was born. After my grandpa died, Daddy took over. In exchange for managing the warehouse, he gave ownership of the company to someone else. I guess he didn't want to let this place go. Or maybe he couldn't let it go. That's more accurate, I think. But I understand why. Inside that warehouse was...
Wait, I just realized something. Yeah, my desktop audio is echoing again. Fuck. Well, at least I cut it 30 minutes in.
On paper, Daddy has nothing to do with Okiura Fishery. Daddy was still managing the warehouse. And he was the only one allowed in there, too. That was part of the agreement when he gave up the company. And the whole thing had to be a secret. He really stressed that point.
Hey, Mizuki. How long was he managing the warehouse?
Since you said before you were born.
For 18 years. That's what the man told me.
18 years? From that long ago?
Yes.
That's Iris's
I need
mother.
an emergency search. Missing persons from 18 years ago.
Understood.
Huh?
Preferably with pink
I
hair.
found her. The girl who looks like Iris.
What's her name?
Manaka Iwai, 19 years old at the time of her disappearance. A graduate of Etoku High School.
What?
Renju was my classmate at Eitoku High. We've known each other for 20 years now.
I have Monica's baby here.
When I was young, I lost someone very important to me. Manaka Iwai, my best friend. One of the only
Oh
friends
shit, I
had.
completely forgot about that.
Alice's Manaka. Hitomi's friend who went to the same school as her and Renju. But why? Manaka's body was found just now. But even back then, Hitomi knew. She knew that Manaka was already dead. Aiba, where is Hitomi right now?
At headquarters for questioning. MPD still believes that the body they discovered was Iris.
Got it. Contact boss. Have them bring Hitomi to Abyss.
Roger that.
Oh shit, we're gonna sync with Hitomi. Police headquarters, Tuesday, 5:08 p.m. Oh, we're gonna do a questioning first, okay.
You're awfully calm. You saw the corpse of your daughter today. You were called into the station to confirm her identity. And yet here you are, cool as a cucumber, even though you lost your precious daughter. Shall I guess why?
How can she stay calm? Well, obviously.
Because that body isn't Iris. And you know it.
Are you serious?
Yes. Her name is Manaka Iwai. She was killed when she was 19. She went to the same high school as you, and she was your best friend. Isn't that right? Nothing to say for yourself? Hiding something? Maybe you killed her with Renju.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, now you're talking. But we know Renju committed a crime. Illegally disposing of a body. And we can prove it.
Where she was found?
Manaka's corpse was hidden under the hood of a forklift in Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. This warehouse has been under Renju's management for 18 years. Mizuki witnessed Renju checking on the corpse. This of course means that Renju knew about Manaka.
The cold storage warehouse where the body was found. It's been managed by Renju Okiura for almost 2 decades now. And witness testimony proves that he knew about the corpse there. And if I'm not mistaken, you knew about the corpse too, Hitomi. You and Renju have been close since high school. It's not too much of a stretch to think that he told you about the body. And I remember you telling me once.
When I was young, I lost someone very important to me. Manaka Iwai, my best friend. One of the only friends I had.
How did you know that she was dead?
I didn't.
Don't play dumb. I know you're hiding something. You know what happened 18 years ago. And you knew she was pregnant. You were her best friend. Of course you would have known. Tell me. Tell me everything!
Date, she's not going to talk. Sync with her.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured that's where we were going anyway. I guess we just had to bring it up.
Date, I'm sure I've told you enough times by now, but please, come back within 6 minutes.
I can't promise you that, Pewter.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm not coming back until I find something.
Date, you can't.
Why not?
You know why.
Because it will take over my consciousness?
Yes.
But if it's only a little...
No, not even a little. If the sync passes the critical point, the damage will be irreparable.
But what does that mean exactly?
Oh, we get to find out.
No.
I'm not hiding anything.
Then let's try it. Let's experiment with my mind. Then we'll know for sure what'll happen.
Fine. I'll just say it.
Yeah?
Pewter, tell him.
Me?
I'll say it.
You know
Pewter,
more
tell
about it
him.
than I do.
Well... Well, first off, 6 minutes is not a hard limit. It could be 7, or even 8.
I don't care about the exact time. I'm asking what happens if you go beyond the limit.
Do you remember the story I told you about the egg?
Yeah, why?
If you imagine an egg as your consciousness, the yolk is what goes into the subject's brain. The white remains inside your shell. If you go beyond the limit, your yolk will not be able to return to its shell.
Because the subject's mind will start to take over the sinker's consciousness, right? I know that part already.
Indeed, but there's more to it. After the yolk is devoured, the egg white is brought through the machine next.
Huh?
And there's more. It's not just the sinker's brain. The same process eventually occurs in the subject's as well. In other words, the entire egg ends up being replaced. Mind, consciousness, memory, they are traded. Switched.
The human brain has what can be understood as a memory limit. One brain can only hold one consciousness. And it can only contain one person's memories.
Now you know everything. Talk to the boss.
Why'd you keep this a
I
secret?
was unaware of this as well. This information is not on any accessible databases.
We had to prevent the possibility that the system could be exploited.
Exploited? But
Even if it wasn't you, someone else might try. We didn't tell any Sinkers this, including you. Project Sync is a top-secret project. It's a matter of national security. Even Sinkers are on a need-to-know basis. Think about it. What if you were kidnapped by bad people who tried to make you talk?
bad people?
A criminal organization, spies from another country, those people. If you blabbed about Project Sync, the entire country might be at risk. You heard it from Pewter. The Sync machine isn't just for entering a person's Somnium. It can also be used to swap bodies between two people. Imagine what this machine would be used for in the wrong hands.
That could be bad.
That's why I didn't tell you. We can't let this secret get out.
Swapping bodies between two people? Trading minds?
So 6 minutes.
Remember what I told you earlier. Are you listening to me?
Yeah, I got it.
Are you really okay?
I'm fine. Start it.
Understood. Let us begin.
All right. What are we about to see? Let's find out. Okay.
What?
I am the god of fire. I burn erotic books with my flames of red-hot anger.
My, how ruthless.
Ow!
Are you okay?
That hurt.
I'll let you read this porno mag if it'll make you feel better.
I will burn it.
The fog is making it pitch black.
Firefly?
The light over there. Is that a firefly?
Somnium scan.
Somnium scan. Activate.
Just 3 locks. Oh, okay. Reveal the hidden secrets. Reveal Hitomi's secret buried deep inside, sinking in the mountain.
It disappeared?
No, wait. It might still be nearby.
Well, the flower bud's literally the
A
only thing I
flower
can
bud.
screw
I
with.
cannot identify the variety.
smell it?
What happened?
It doesn't have any particular smell, but for some reason I nearly blacked out.
Maybe it's poisonous. Be careful.
What's this? Caring words from you, Date. What are you hiding?
Alright, well that ate 15 seconds for no reason.
A flower bud.
Worship it.
Worship it?
Yeah.
I will pray to it as though I am mourning the dead.
That worked. Somehow.
It bloomed a little?
I don't know what caused it, but it's better than nothing happening.
Lit it up. Okay. Hole in tree, rock, rock, rock.
A hole in a tree. I may be able to fit inside.
Stick your hand in.
I am not going to be eaten or anything, right? Whoa! I fell, but I am still in the forest.
It's darker than before.
What? Is someone there?
Hey!
That voice is...
Find out where that voice is coming from.
Shake, question mark, question mark, question mark. Oh, okay. That's rock 2. I need to... turn around completely. Huh? Oh, I'm almost there. There he is.
5 minutes left, Date.
Renju Okiura.
Talk to him.
Renju, what are you doing in a place like this?
He won't answer.
Not in a place like this, at least.
Okay. Well, it says to shake him.
Renju... This is for neglecting your responsibility to Mizuki, you coward! No use. I can't hit him.
This Renju is still a teenager. He wouldn't know Mizuki yet.
Fair enough.
Renju...
Flirt.
Yoo-hoo, Renju! Come get some of this.
The fuck
Come
was
on.
that?
Sorry, that was a bad idea.
Don't apologize. This is Renju's fault for having bad taste. Renju...
Inspect.
He looks young, but this is definitely Renju Okiura as he appeared approximately 20 years ago.
That's a long time ago.
Okay. Well, none of that has done anything. So, what do we do from here? Wait a minute.
4 minutes.
Hole in tree 2.
A hole in the tree. It looks about as big around as a soccer ball.
Stick your hand in it again.
I am not going to be sucked in, am I?
That's strange. It should have worked.
Did you want to see me get sucked in?
Yeah.
A hole in...
Oh, I've got timies again. I guess we could peek inside. I don't know if I want to use these yet.
A hole. I cannot see anything. It is unnaturally dark.
Anything else?
I do not see anywhere that air could be flowing from. A hole in the tree.
Tackle it? Because it says shake?
Understood. I will do my best.
Money?
This
Oh.
is a picture of Hitomi, Renju, and Manaka.
Everyone is so young. Hold on to that.
Okay, now that I have that, can I do something?
Renju,
Ah, here we go. Show him the picture.
Renju, look at this. Wait!
And away he
Renju,
goes!
stop!
Shook Renju. I guess that was in more of a figurative sense.
3 minutes, Date.
What is this hole? It wasn't here earlier.
Jump in!
Really?
Yeah, go ahead.
Understood.
No.
It's even more difficult to see now. Another voice? Monica! That's Hitomi's voice.
Where is she? Look for her.
Well, following the fireflies seems to have gotten me good, so, now we have to shake her. Oh. What? I can't interact with her. There's another hole in the tree. Let's go check it out.
Another hole in a tree. About as big as a capybara, I estimate.
What kind of a...
Those are pretty big.
Okay. Scream!
Hitomi! Date likes Hitomi!
Hey, what are you trying to say? Hitomi won't remember this sink. But still.
Hitomi stopped.
You have less than 2 minutes, Date. Hurry.
I'm on it, I'm on it.
That's Hitomi.
Hug.
Hitomi? I see.
Well?
She dresses modestly, but underneath she has a curvaceous body.
Good work, Aiba. That's good to know.
Okay. Yeah, good to know.
That's Hitomi.
Okay, let's just try touching her then.
Where?
Well, you could, you know, touch her...
But in this Somnium, she might be a minor.
her stomach. Test how soft her stomach is.
If you say so. I touched it.
So, what's the softness situation? Tell me.
It was soft. Nice and pliant. No noticeable abdominal muscles.
Valuable information indeed. Thank you, Aiba.
You old pervert. That's
Let's just try talking to her.
Hitomi, what are you doing here?
Guess she can't hear you. She looks like she's looking for something.
That's Hitomi. Hitomi Sagan. Like Renju, this must have been approximately 20 years ago.
Something must have happened around that time.
Okay. All of that has not told me anything.
1 minute left.
Oh!
What?
I found a thing. There's a rock here.
A rock.
These are clearly just for timies then. Okay. Should probably use those more often. Okay, we're back to the hole.
A hole in...
Oh, now I can stick my hand in it.
I won't get sucked in, right? A cord bracelet has appeared on my wrist. Perhaps it belongs to someone.
It might be important. Hold on to it.
Okay. Now I can shake you, Tommy.
Date, you've got less than 30 seconds.
I know.
That's it. Do you remember this? Wait!
Follow her!
On it!
We're about to run out of time, though. Yeah. Not yet. Okay, yeah, now it's up. I got fucking lost.
Date, we can't! Time is up!
Damn it! Is it over?
Okay, we're gonna start from the beginning.
A hole?
Then you stick your hand in. Then I check to make sure I still have Hitomi B. I do. Okay. I don't want to look at it yet. I just wanted to make sure I have it. Okay. Renju is now around, but I need hole in tree too. Where was that? Man, the Somnium is kind of confusing. What? Wait, it loops. Wait, what? Oh, there it is.
5 minutes left, Date.
A hole?
Tackle. Take the picture. Go back to Renju. Show him the picture. He runs off. Get incredibly confused. Wish I had a timey or two.
4 minutes.
No, There it is. Home truther. Fuck.
Those are pretty big.
Scream.
A hole in a.
Stick hand in. Get bracelet. Run back to
3 minutes,
Hitomi,
Date.
who has now stopped.
That's it.
Show her the bracelet. She runs off. And I see hole 2.
A lot. If there is nothing left to do.
God, I'm dying. Okay.
Date, what is going on?
I don't know. It's pitch black. I can't see anything.
I see. Then it is not me malfunctioning.
Can you feel your way around?
I can try.
There's literally
less than 2
no
minutes,
fireflies
Date.
or
Hurry.
anything. Oh. Reveal the secret. Cluster amaryllis.
A Lycaris flower.
Worship it again.
Nothing is happening.
That's to be expected, but still disappointing.
A Lycaris.
Grab it.
I feel a little awkward, but it's useless. The roots must be strong. It won't budge.
This is the only thing to interact with, so dig it up.
Let's do it. What? Another hole. A
Well,
large.
only one thing
1 minute left.
that's gonna
We've
use up
come
all my
this
time.
far. I will not protest now. Huh?
Does that end it?
That is.
Revealed the secret. Wait, what? That's it? Tuesday, Kokai.
Hitomi, I think I know what happened 18 years ago. You three were close. You, Manaka, and Renju. Manaka was murdered. You and Renju found the body in the mountains, and you brought it back to the cold storage warehouse. And my guess is So Sejima killed Manaka. I've seen inside his head before, using this machine.
I see. If you know that much, then there's no point in hiding it anymore. I'll tell you the truth.
Sweet. The Saigon residence. Unknown time. 18 years ago.
Wait, you're going to see So?
Yes. I want to talk to him in person.
No, you can't.
Why not? Are you worried about my body? You don't have to worry about that. I'm totally fine.
But your stomach is still...
Oh, my doctor told me that's normal. Your stomach doesn't go down right away after giving birth.
I'm not worried about your body. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, I am actually kind of worried about
So
your body, but
doesn't
that's
care about you.
a whole other thing.
And especially not your child.
I haven't told him about giving birth.
Wait.
He contacted me for the first time in a while.
So that's why.
He wants to know about the baby.
He must be panicking. If anyone ever finds out his mistress had his baby, his political career would be over.
It's not like it was an affair.
His wife passed away after giving birth to his son, right?
It would still be a big scandal. He impregnated a girl who just graduated high school. Don't you see how that looks? He knew how the public would take it. That's why he gave you the money to deal with it. There's no way he'll accept that child.
It's okay. I told him that I won't cause any trouble. But could you take care of the baby? Just for a little bit? I'll be right back.
Fine. But take this with you, just in case. It's a GPS transmitter.
Oh.
Just to be extra safe.
You had those 18 years ago?
I really don't think I'll need it. But okay, if it'll make you feel better.
I don't know what Manaka saw in So. She said he was kind and loyal, that he wanted to change Japan, but I didn't understand any of it. He tried to convince her to break up with him so many times. She never listened, and it ended in tragedy. What happened next, you already know. Neither Renju or I saw it happen, so I don't know how much of this is accurate, but we could guess what happened.
Wow, so it looks really old 20 years ago. Oh. Who told you this?
Renju told me.
But you said he wasn't there.
He heard some of this from the Kumakuras. Renju had connections with them.
How did the Kumakuras know?
So told them.
But how did So... Oh, wait. What did So say to Manaka?
He told her to move overseas. He said he'd pay for everything.
What happened after her murder?
So contacted his friend, the chairman of the Kumakuras. He asked him to dispose of the body and left the scene with the culprit.
The incident was 18 years ago. That means the chairman was Rohan, not Moma.
Rohan went to the scene of the crime?
Yes, with some of his men.
About her killer.
Date, you said that Manaka was killed by So, right? But that's not true. Manaka was killed by Saito Sajima, the son of So and his late wife. Saito was 12 at the time.
12?
Yes,
But why would a little boy do that?
I don't know. I can't imagine.
Why would you do that? Date! Listen to the rest.
Again, neither Renju or I saw this. We were just waiting at my house for Manaka to return. But she never came back. We tried to call her cell, but it didn't connect. But then, we saw movement on the GPS.
The GPS Renju gave to Manaka?
Yes. At first, we thought she was on her way home. But we saw the GPS getting further and further away from the city. Renju and I got nervous, and we decided to follow it.
What about the baby?
We couldn't take the baby with us, so Renju gave the baby to the mob doctor he trusted.
Those are Kumakura men.
We didn't dare move. We couldn't speak. We were barely breathing. We could only watch as it all unfolded. I knew what the hole was for, but I couldn't move. Couldn't do anything. I remember my heart beating so fast. Before long.
We good here?
Yeah. Cover her.
Just a minute.
And then he goes and takes her eye.
Beautiful.
The Kumakura people covered Manaka's body, then left. Renju and I ran over and dug up the grave with a tree branch. What we saw.
Monica! Monica! We need to call the police.
No, we can't. Not yet.
Why not?
You don't know who those guys are. They would do anything to keep this hidden. I've seen it happen myself. I know what they're capable of. Anyway, think about it. Why would they do this? They thought Manaka and her baby were going to be trouble. Monika's stomach was still pretty big. I don't think they know that she gave birth already. What do you think they'd do if they found out? They would take her and kill her too. And then, they'd come for us. They'd make it look like we disappeared. All of us would be gone.
Renju convinced me. He knew more about the dirty underbelly of society than anyone. He knew when something couldn't be handled by the police. He said that they would do anything to kill the child. And I believed him. We had to protect Monika's baby. We had to, no matter what.
Okay, I understand.
I decided to trust him. We couldn't leave Monika's body in the forest. We cleaned her up and took her to the cold storage warehouse.
We cleaned her up and stripped her naked for some reason.
This warehouse is owned by Okiura Fishery. My father runs
Oh,
it.
I'm like, why is it so dark?
But it's
all
not
of a
in
sudden?
use right now. They're moving operations to a better area. They're actually looking for buyers right now. But don't worry, I'll take over the warehouse.
Are you sure?
Yes. Don't worry. I'll keep everyone out. Everyone but you, of course. I'll give you a key. You can come visit any time you want to see Manaka.
It's pretty messed up, man. Oh, that one time when he told me he was missing or whatever. This is why.
Manaka, don't worry about the baby. I'll protect her, no matter what. And don't worry about them, either. The people who did this to you, I will never forgive them. I'm sorry, Manaka. Sorry. I'm sorry. Manaka.
That's why Falco was sent to kill them. You should have probably dyed her hair or something. I'm her now. Okay. About her killer?
I don't really want to discuss this, but there's something you need to know. After talking to the Kumakura gang, I found out who killed Manaka. So's son, Saito Sejima.
How? Saito was only...
12 years old.
Why? Why would a little boy do that?
I don't know the motive, but I know it's true. So used his connections with the Kumakuras to cover up for his son. And all of the evidence of this scandal, of course.
I'll never forgive them. So, his son, or the Kumakuras.
I feel the same way. But you can't think about revenge now. You and the baby can't lead a life like that. Just bear with it for now. The opportunity will come. So wait until the right moment. Okay?
So, wait until the right moment. Birth certificate?
The mob doctor took care of everything. I have the birth certificate, and I even picked up a mother and baby book. It wasn't cheap, but you don't have to worry about it. Just submit the birth certificate, and everything will be taken care of. You look worried.
I feel like... I'm somehow betraying Manaka. She was the one who gave birth.
Soon, you won't even be able to think about that. Because a war is about to begin.
A war?
Between you and the baby. You won't get a good night's sleep for a long time. You might even start to resent Monica for all this.
Really?
Anyway, as soon as you submit the certificate, you will officially be her mother. Be sure to raise her responsibly. I'll help. Occasionally.
Occasionally, huh? I was thinking about her name. How about Iris?
Iris?
The goddess of rainbows in Greek mythology? And the colored part of your eye.
And the flower, too.
Right.
I thought it might have something to do with your name, Hitomi.
Not only that. It's also for Manaka's name. The kanji for Manaka uses the character for love. And Manaka reminds me of Manako, Japanese for eye.
So both names have something to do with the eye.
And I, which means love, will always be a part of Iris.
So that's how you came up with the name?
Don't you think it's nice?
Iris. Iris. Yeah, I really like it.
And so my life with Iris began. Raising a child was much harder than I expected. Waking up in the middle of the night to change diapers or feed her. Iris wasn't a good sleeper. I had to sing her lullabies to put her to sleep. And I always needed to put her to bed so carefully. It would only take 10 seconds before she'd start crying again. So I had to pick her up, sing her another lullaby, then put her back to bed. After doing this over and over, before I knew it, the morning sun would creep in through the windows. But even with all that, I cherished every single day. My hatred for those responsible never went away. But my hands were full, raising Iris. I devoted myself to her. I never thought about anything else. Eventually, my desire for revenge just faded away.
Sweepy, up? Mommy, I won race today. Is Mommy proud of me? Mommy, I want to see Milky Moon again. Mommy, you are so good at dancing. Mommy, pancakes are done. Sorry, I burned it a little. Mommy, why can't I dance at the stores? I can't help it. My body dances on its own. Mommy, don't more people come to barbecues? How come it's always you and me? Hey, Mommy. How long will it take my bone to get better? I want to dance again with everybody.
When she fell off the thing.
Hey, Mommy, do you like my shirt? Look, we're matching! Mommy, thank you for everything! I love you more than anything in the whole wide world! Mommy, look! I drew it!
The Okonomiyaki War, huh?
That was so fun! We should do it again!
The food or the food fight?
Both!
I'm gonna have to say no to the latter, sweetie. It took forever to clean.
But Uncle said he wants to do it again, too! Hey, Mommy.
Yes?
Are you gonna marry him?
What are you talking about?
As long as it's Uncle, I'm all for it! I say go for it!
I would always question myself. Could I keep living a lie? I had promised Manaka that I would avenge her. But I couldn't work up the courage. And maybe Renju was exaggerating. But there's no statute of limitations for murder in Japan.
Oh.
If we showed Manaka's body to the police, So would be punished by the law. And the Tsujima's and Kumakura's crimes would be uncovered. But that would mean Iris's secret would be uncovered as well. That's what I was really worried about. I didn't want Iris to know that So was her father. And even more than that, I didn't want her to know that I'm not her real mother. That's the real reason I've been silent for 18 years. I didn't want to lose Iris. But
here we are, about to lose Iris. So, yeah.
fate can be cruel. God used other means to take Iris from me.
Oh, that too.
In January, Iris suddenly collapsed. It was caused by a malignant tumor in her brain. There's nothing we can do. She only has a year to live at most. That's what the doctor said. If you remember me telling you. But what I didn't tell you is that there was an experimental new treatment. It was...
Some of the cutting-edge nanomachines can even go inside your body and cure illnesses. They can even cure cancer. And they go beep, beep, beep. That's what Mom said.
Oh. Wow, that was not a thing I thought of.
Nanomachines could remove the tumor, but the procedure would be so expensive. With my salary, it wasn't something I could afford. I thought hard about it, about how I could get my hands on that kind of money, but I couldn't think of a solution. Time passed. Before I knew it, it was November. Iris's symptoms worsened. Her time was running out. I was starting to panic. I couldn't sit here and waste time while Iris... In any case, I had to get the money before it was too late. So I thought of a plan. A plan to blackmail So Tsujima. 2 days ago, on Saturday night, I called So and invited him to come to the warehouse. He agreed to come. After I hinted at what happened 18 years ago, I had prepared everything, hiding behind the forklift until So came. When he finally arrived, he walked over to the workbench.
Oh.
Had laid Manaka's body.
That's why
He
her
lifted
body
the
was
cloth
there.
and looked down. He whimpered and stumbled back. Even he was fazed, seeing a body he thought he got rid of 18 years ago. Not to mention it was the body of a woman he was in a relationship with. A woman his own son killed. He reacted exactly as I expected he would. I had prepared a recording and sent it to his phone.
I know what happened 18 years ago. Everything. I know who did it, and I know she had a baby inside her. You can probably guess what I'm going to say next. Be prepared to pay for my silence. I will tell you the exact amount later. And don't tell anyone about this. Not Saito, not the Kumakuras. If you do anything even remotely suspect, I will go to the press with the truth. Understand?
I told him to keep quiet and cut ties with the Kumakuras. Even if he found out who I was, without the Kumakura gang, He had no power over me, and there's no way he'd risk his political career not to go after me. I saw So put his phone back into his pocket and run out of the warehouse. I came out of my hiding place to put Monica's body back, but then something unexpected happened. I saw you, Date. I hid behind the forklift before you saw me.
Yeah.
And when you were done looking around,
It can't be. Iris.
That definitely complicated things. I was losing consciousness. My head felt fuzzy. I couldn't gather my thoughts. I didn't know what to say. Instead, Iba did the talking.
Iris is not Hitomi's daughter. But Iris's father is Sosajima. Her mother, Manaka Iwai, was killed 18 years ago by So's son, Saito. However, Hitomi raised Iris since she was a baby. Hitomi showed unwavering love and compassion for her, just as much as her biological mother would have, if not more. Iris's tumor was discovered in January of this year. The only possible treatment was experimental nanotechnology. However, that treatment is restrictively expensive. Hitomi devised a plan to blackmail Sosajima for the money. The best way to establish the blackmail was to show him proof directly. That is why Hitomi created the scene with the corpse. She was the one who called So to the warehouse. On Sunday night, what Date saw was what Hitomi had prepared for So. That is the summary of what we have learned so far.
But who killed
But there are some
Shoko?
things I have yet to understand. Date, pull yourself together. Ask her questions. Date, snap out of it.
I heard Iba call for me and came to. Why did Rohan remove her eye?
I'm sorry. I have no idea.
But it was very gross. Did you tell Renju about blackmailing
No,
So?
I did not. All of this was my idea.
Continuing Sunday's events.
I probably don't have to ask, but let me just be sure. After I left the warehouse, what did you do?
I put Monica's body back onto the hood of the forklift. Then I left.
Makes sense.
That's why the police didn't see the body when they arrived on the scene. It makes perfect sense now that I have the facts. Iris did not resurrect. You simply mistook Monica for Iris. The body did not disappear. Hitomi moved it. Those were the events at the warehouse Sunday night. Simple. There are still a few loose ends, but I believe I understand what occurred 18 years ago. However, none of this ties directly back to Shoko Nadami.
Yeah, in case you forgot.
her murder was just 4 days ago. Is it connected? Or are these two separate cases?
If there is a connection, it would be with Renju and So. We can think about it later. More importantly,
I headed for the exit.
Wait.
Hmm?
Where are you going?
to look for Iris, of course.
But you have no idea where she is, right?
Do you know something?
Yes. At around 4 o'clock today, I received a phone call. I don't know who it was. They were using a voice modulator.
What did they say?
I have your daughter. Don't call the police or she dies. That's why I didn't tell you earlier.
Renju.
We don't know that for certain. It could be number 89.
Either way, Iris is in danger right now.
The voice asked for something else. He told me to go to a specified location with you.
With me?
Yes.
The culprit knows me? It must be Renju. What location?
Ikume Shrine?
I'm sorry, but this stops now.
Pewter?
Date. Run.
Boss!
Boss!
So she's not a crazy assassin after all.
Please, do not worry. I merely put her to sleep.
What are you doing?
My orders. They told us to halt our investigation. The boss was already going against orders as it is, which is why...
Investigation? What investigation? Shoko or Iris?
Neither. The investigation of Manaka's murder.
Manaka? But her case is all but completely solved.
Yes, but only to us, right? If we say nothing, then her investigation is ongoing.
So Sejima. So threatened us, didn't he?
I don't know. But you've been stripped of your authority on this investigation. As of 5 minutes ago. In fact, you are to be placed under house arrest. What will you do, Date? I suggest
Take you
comply.
down, nerd.
Iva, can you turn the power off?
Easily.
Alright, get ready. 3, 2, 1.
You earned that. Both from this time and last time.
Now tell me, where is the location?
I can't tell you.
Why not?
If I told you, you'd go alone, wouldn't you? But if I don't go with you...
Alright, take me there.
So she's gonna drive? The abandoned factory.
I know this place.
It's the chemical plant that closed 8 years ago.
I knew that. How did I know that? The corners of my mind were aching.
Date, I'm sorry, but this is going to be bad.
What happened?
Someone has begun to access my stored memory. They are attempting to wipe all the data. Everything I have accumulated over the last 5 years. Including backups.
Pewter. Is Pewter doing this?
Almost definitely. He does have admin rights. I summoned some ice, but that will only buy time. I have 4 hours at the most. After my ice is broken, Pewter will be able to access Wadjet, my core programming. He will be able to destroy my mind.
Why?
It must be related to the orders they are receiving from the top. The higher-ups clearly see you as a threat, Date. They are attempting to limit your power by removing me from the equation. I suppose their motivation hardly matters now. The most important thing now is finding Iris and bringing her to Abyss within 4 hours. Or else, I will cease to exist.
Well,
Date?
good to know we have a time
What's wrong?
limit.
Nothing. Just...
All right, now you know. So get moving. I'm counting on you, Date.
You got it, Iba. 4 hours. It's fine. That should be plenty of time. I gripped my evolver and got moving.
I'll go in first. You wait here.
Okay.
Is the sick machine gonna still be here? Sure is. And there's someone attached to it. Oh shit.
Renju?
Number 89. Falco. The case remains unsolved. Huh? Wait. The fuck do you mean the case remains unsolved? Okay. Oh. We're going back here now. Alright, Jinai. Day 5, Tuesday. Jinai. Does anybody actually remember what happened along this timeline? I think this is the one where Iris and all them died.
Sosajima.
Does this have something to do with Monika's vengeance?
Why?
Or, not Monica. Hitomi.
Why? Boss? What's going on here? Why did Boss kill So? Shoko was killed around 5 p.m. Friday. What was Boss doing at that time?
Unknown.
Renju.
What about Saturday, 8 p.m.?
The time
Unknown.
Renju was killed? Similarly unknown.
And of course,
Iris and Ota were killed at different times. I was watching the stream on the call with Boss.
Only the first few minutes. The polar bear had not yet appeared on stream. It is possible that she made the call from somewhere off camera.
Where was Boss's phone at the time? Check her cell records.
She did not call from a mobile phone. She used a PC. Using a VPN service, she could have accessed her Abyss PC from the warehouse and made the call.
Boss is the new Cyclops killer? Shoko, Renju, Iris, Ota, So. Boss killed them all?
The evidence makes that a likely possibility.
kick.
So also had his left eye removed. Identical to Shoko, Renju, and Iris.
World with left eye removed. What?
Date, I know where the boss is. I have picked up her GPS.
Where?
She is now at the Sagan residence.
Oh no.
Somewhere inside Hitomi's house.
What?
She's getting rid of everyone connected to that. But that still doesn't explain why Shoko. I drew my gun from its holster and barged into the house.
Hitomi! Hitomi!
I called for her, but there was no reply. I didn't see Boss either.
Iva, call Boss's phone.
On it.
The sound of the vibration is louder. I'm close.
The boss's phone.
Oh shit.
Kaname Date, you were under arrest for murder.
What the hell?
Drop your weapon. Comply!
Boss!
Boss?
What the fuck are you doing?
I could ask you the same thing. You killed Shoko Nadami, didn't you?
What?
That's ridiculous. What are you talking about?
Don't lie.
Where's Hitomi?
I don't know. She was gone when I got here.
Why did you come here?
Why would I tell you? Are you kidding me?
You're the new Cyclops killer.
What? Why do you think that?
You put a gun to So's head and pulled the trigger. I saw it with my own eye.
Shut up! Shut up! Stop lying!
Fight!
This is going nowhere.
Are you going to fight?
I have no choice.
I recommend against it. You have zero chance of winning a firefight.
Well then, what can I do?
Let me think. Date, what is that on the kitchen table? Could it be your favorite thing?
What?
The magazine.
You want me to look at a magazine now?
Just look.
It can't be. This is the stuff of legends. Only the most diehard fans have ever laid eyes on it.
You're coming with us.
Oh.
Damn.
It's over.
Yes, please.
Whoa! Limited edition!
What was that? Okay.
What?
Date, load Evolver with firebomb bullets. Shoot at the cloud.
Why?
Just do as I say, and fast.
This has gone a bit off the rails, but here we go. I killed all of them. Oops. Well, now I really am under arrest for murder. I guess not. Somehow.
She
He's
is
still
probably
holding
just
it.
unconscious. Her right shoulder and left leg suffered damage, but she will live.
A dust explosion, huh? Good thinking.
Thank you.
But you could have just had me throw the bag of flour.
That would have been too slow. To improve your reaction time, I had to improvise.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's have a look. Hey, this is just a cooking magazine.
It worked though. Police headquarters, Tuesday, 2:31 a.m.
Boss is still unconscious. However, her brainwaves are stable. Syncing with her shouldn't be an issue.
Oh shit.
Date, talking to her would be pointless. You do know that, don't you?
Asking questions would be a waste of time. Besides, even if she was awake, I can't imagine she'd take kindly to an interrogation. Hitomi still hasn't been found. I have a bad feeling about this. There's a good chance Boss knows where she is. How could I get that information? Getting into her head would definitely be the quickest way. That's why I brought her here. The sinker's chair. The person sitting here does the sinking. Okay. Boss is lying on the sink subject's chair. Where's number 89?
I had him put back behind bars.
In Fuchu prison.
That's right. I couldn't keep him here.
Why are you so cooperative?
Because I know that the boss is my enemy. I got the video from Aiba. I processed it and found that it showed no sign of tampering or editing.
Which means there can be no mistake. The boss shot and killed So Sejima.
And your boyfriend.
After pulling out his left eye. That makes the odds of her being the culprit behind the other murders very high. Or maybe she had accomplices. Either way, she's a criminal. That's why I am cooperating with you, Special Agent Date. I want it as bad as you do.
Thanks, Peter.
The truth.
So how is she?
She has broken her right shoulder, as well as the fibula of her left leg. But her brain is perfectly healthy. You can sync with her.
Let's do it.
Pewter, are the preparations done?
Ready anytime.
All right.
Let's get started.
Here we go.
Date.
I know.
6 minutes.
6-minute time limit. I'll be back before time's up.
Or we'll switch bodies with boss.
Well then, let's begin.
Wait, would that be a bad thing? No. All right. Is this the abandoned factory?
Time to loosen up.
Do you always have to come in like that?
It is of the utmost importance.
At a time like this?
Times like this are perfect. Anyway, it appears to be an abandoned factory of some kind.
What could Boss be hiding here?
It's also color coded into 3 levels.
Somnium scan. Activate.
You're gonna do that while you're doing that? Okay. Open the door to Boss's truth. Sink in the refrain. Boss is hiding something. Reveal the truth of the new Cyclops serial killings. Door 0. Door 1. Door A. Ladder 1F. Cord. Can't really get to those. Open the first door.
A door that looks like the anywhere door.
Open it.
Hmm? It appears to be locked.
Okay. So now we have a 6th timey. Door 1.
A rusted metal door.
Yeah, put the pick in the keyhole.
It is no use. The ice pick will not work as a key. A rusted
Break the lock. I didn't actually
Break the
understand
lock
what it
with
said.
that.
Roger. I will try. It worked!
All right, open it.
Whoa.
Several keys have fallen.
One of them must be the right one.
I do not have time to try all of them.
Hopefully there's some kind of sign.
Indeed.
Open the first door. Mental lock number 2. Open the second door.
It's a key. It's a key. It's a key.
This one's held by a lockpick. Or an ice
It's
pick.
a key. It's a key.
Whereas all the other ones are just normal.
It's a key. The ice pick is next to this key. It appears to be correct.
That's what I said.
The tag is labeled A.
I was right. Give me some credit.
That must mean you can use this key for something labeled A.
Come on.
Poor Date. Never gets the recognition. Alright. Yeah, there's no way to the other side. At least not from here. So let's head up here.
A door that...
Ooh, I have a 1 second timer.
Perhaps we can use the key I just picked up.
Yeah, try that.
It opened.
Where does that lead me?
Odd. Isn't this the 3rd floor? What is going on here?
Looks like the floors are connected in a weird way.
Quite the troublesome dream.
Indeed. Well, this is Boss we're talking about. She is the one who runs Abyss, so... Or something like that. What is her position, actually? Okay, so we have B, D, apostrophe, F, pipe, and a control panel. But I can't get to any of that.
A door with B written on it.
Can I even open it?
It does not appear to be locked.
Okay. But now we have a ×3 on our hands.
This is the 2nd floor, but it is clearly not the door I just opened.
So we're on
It's
the
like
other
a
side.
maze. I have to remember what door goes where.
That's gonna be annoying. Okay. Well, there's literally, absolutely, 100% nothing we can do up here.
Door C.
Open it up.
It doesn't appear to be locked. Oh, we're on the 2nd floor again.
We leave the 2nd floor and come right back to it? This is confusing.
Alright, we're now back on the 2nd floor. This is just blocked off. So let's head this way. There's a shelf here. I need to figure out a way to eat this 5 times.
There's an
so.
obvious wire tied to it.
Investigating won't take too long. What else is up here? Oh, steel drum. Interesting. Those are just doors. Wait, what? Let's push it.
It is no use. I am not powerful enough to move it.
So, you're too weak. Got it.
Yes, you're right. I am too weak.
Aw.
I'm sorry, Iba.
No, it's all right. It is the truth. I am just a lowly artificial intelligence.
Okay then. So we have.
An oil drum hung with wire.
Oh. Push it. There we go.
Oh.
Guess you should check that door.
You have 3 minutes, Date.
A rusted metal door.
Yep, let's go ahead and use our 1 second timing on that.
It does not appear to be locked. This again.
So we can't just grab one. We have to be careful.
We need Renju's watch, but which one? Oh. Oh, fuck. I need Renju's time of death. I cannot remember it. I think it was 3? You mowing? There's Otis. Someone I need. Fuck. I'm just gonna have to pretend to remember it. Okay, so we have 3:45, 2:50, 8 o'clock. What are the options? 11. 11? Sounds like it's too late. It might be 8.
It's a key with a watch beside it. The hands indicate 8 o'clock.
Pick it up.
Is this the correct answer?
Saturday night at 8 matches Renju's estimated time of death.
Okay, good.
D is written on the tag. Let's go, Date.
That's eating up a lot of
You
my
have less
time.
than 2 minutes. Hurry.
I will try the key.
Yeah, try it.
It opened.
Oh, frozen, because it's the cold storage warehouse. Got it.
This door too. Rows of monitors and buttons. Rows of monitors and buttons.
Oh, I thought I could do something from this side. Okay.
A metal door. It's frozen. A broken pipe. Steam is leaking out.
Let's go and investigate the control panel.
Rose. This appears to be old. I believe this computer controls the factory's electronics. It appears to require a key to activate.
Okay. Got it. So I'll need the key after this. That means I need to do something with this pipe. Let's cover it.
You want me to cover this hot hole?
Yeah.
You're making me do some dangerous things. Perhaps that will work? This won't be easy to cover.
Interesting. Wait, is that on the first floor now? No. No, it's not. Okay.
It's a...
Kick it.
Yeah!
Oh. That was so fucking obvious. Oh my god.
It's just as I calculated.
You were surprised, admit it.
A rusted metal door. Most of the ice is gone now.
Let's open her up.
I think I can open this door.
Please don't make me watch this again. Thank you. Just a key.
This key has control panel written on the tag.
Thank you for not
Control
making me
panel?
do another puzzle.
One right there?
So can you remember ASET's logo? It's like, I hope so. Okay. Let's open that final door then. Yeah, if I investigate again, it'll eat up that 10 times timing. Okay. Insert that key.
There. Oh.
So?
I see. If we move the scaffold, a new route appears.
Okay, let's move it.
Rows of
Sleep. Press the switch.
Hey, it got stuck.
This button is indeed the one needed to move the scaffold, but...
Huh. There might be another step we have to do first.
Okay.
Rose...
Rotate the key. What?
It shrunk.
Rose...
Well, I mean, it is a Somnium, I guess. Okay, press the switch now.
Oh.
I see. Rose...
Less than 1 minute.
And
Hurry.
rotate that key again. Okay.
Extended.
Now we can use the route to door B.
That means I just need to open the B apostrophe door. Thank you for showing me that game, because I definitely would have been confused.
Door.
Yeah, open it up. Can't fast forward somehow. For some reason. Words. Okay. Where the F is door B? I need door C? Yes. Okay, let's go. Wait. Well, E is dumb and useless, so, yeah. Am I gonna make it? I see written on this side. Interesting.
Dante! 30 seconds!
I know. Okay, I'm at door C now. Door B.
Door B.
1 second. Wait, I should not have used the 1 second timing. That was dumb. That was dumb of me.
Door F. This is the first time we've seen it.
F for first. Open with the 10 times. Okay.
It does not appear to be locked.
This is a tough one. At least in terms of its timing.
This is the first time we've been here.
That big door. If we can see what's in there, we'll figure something out.
If I have enough time. Okay. Okay. What do I do? All of that takes 999 seconds. Okay. Yeah, no kidding.
Power cord.
Fuck. Gotta do something.
A power.
Kick it!
If this were pointed in a different direction, something might happen to the door. No, this is different. That won't work this time. Date, there is no time left.
Damn it, what the hell is Boss up to?
This is a pretty difficult Somnium, but I think I've got the hang of it. I don't feel like I used up too much time. We'll restart from the beginning anyway. Okay. Right, first things first. This door.
A rusted.
Oh. Wait, I need a timer for this. Shit. A
door.
Okay. It's not eating up too much time, but it's also not exactly going easy on it either. I needed to be careful not to use up my 1 second timers.
It's a...
Is there something I could have used that on better?
A door.
Well, let's run over this way, then over here, then down here, and then open up this door. Okay. Now we go into door C. Do I maybe return to eat up the 5 times?
Door.
Oh god, no. Okay.
Agent Dante, you've got 4 minutes.
I feel like trying to push this was correct, but let's see how long this takes to do anything with the drum. Investigating is 25. This one's probably gonna take more than 2 tries.
A book.
That was also 25. Okay. So either way, it's about the same. If I do that, it eats up less time.
A rusted.
Okay, now we need to find the correct watch, which is the one that says 8 o'clock. And that one's over here.
You have 3 minutes, Dante.
It's the hands in.
Ugh. Can't think of anything that only takes 1 second, so I'm gonna have to do that. Okay. Door D. Okay. Now we go over and kick the pipe.
Hurry.
Open this up. Thankfully, the thing with the control panel is only 1 second. Times 10 won't hurt.
Rose.
Okay.
Rose.
Rotate the key.
Rose.
Press the switch. Rotate it again. Get back to B. Which I do mostly remember the route for. Use that, get the 1 second timing. Okay. Door E I've concluded is useless. So let's go over this one. I wonder if door E is there so I can use it as a time sink. I'll have to check that next time.
Door.
Should have saved the half timer.
I said 1 minute. Hurry.
This one, yep.
Door.
Use the 9th to get the 10th. Okay.
Door F.
Open it. Okay. Do I go back through the door? I can't. What do I do with this times 10 timing that I'm forced to use? climb it.
I passed through it. It must not be for climbing. Date, there is no time left.
Damn it, what the hell is...
This final section's kind of throwing me for a loop a bit here. I think what I actually need to do here...
Rosa...
is open that up in a different way.
Rosa...
rotate the key. Press the switch. Rotate it again. This happens. Okay. Now we go down here. Into the door. Yep. Don't use the halftime on that. Not that way.
Doors.
Less than 1 minute. Hurry.
Door be...
Working on it. Okay. Now to open this, instead of opening it like a sane person, we're going to open it like a not sane person. Yeah, there we go.
The first floor. This is the first time we've been here.
That big door. If we can see what's in there, we'll figure something out.
Okay. What are my options with this cord again? I mean, that could be fun. Okay, I've got an idea. She said it's not for climbing, right?
No use. It is too heavy to lift.
Okay. Get shocked.
Date, we've known each other for a long time. I know that you are joking, but could you please consider the appropriate time and place?
You're seriously lecturing me right now?
Excuse me?
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay, so the answer is not to get shocked.
Power cord.
Date, you're out of time.
I don't know what to do. That's all the options. Give me this letter. Tackle it.
Ready? Whoa! This Somnium is awfully dangerous.
Hey, that door. Maybe we can open that one now. Check it out.
I would, but we had 22 seconds from that time.
Date, there...
Damn it. What?
Okay. I got it now. Spark. 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 Okay. We got this time. How annoying. That last part is kind of BS.
Rose.
Okay. Investigate. Use up 10 seconds.
Rose.
Then we insert the key.
Rose.
Then we rotate it again. Then we press the switch.
Rows of...
Then we rotate again. And then we book it.
Door...
Go ahead and use the half one on this one. Run over this way, not that way. Go over here. Well, you know, it took a bit of doing, but we figured it out eventually.
Door...
So let's go now see what exactly the boss was
Less than 1 minute.
to.
Hurry.
Nope. B.
Door...
If I haven't already eaten up too much time doing that. Instead of opening the doors, if I have to redo the entire Somnium.
Door...
I don't think I'll have to, though.
The first floor.
If we...
Why can't I skip that part? Alright, do that and tackle.
Ready?
I'm using ZR, by the way, and it's doing literally nothing.
Whoa! This Somnium is off.
Hey, that...
Okay,
Alright.
let's open it up.
I'm going to open it.
Well, it's the same figure every time. That could only mean one thing. Boss is, indeed, the new Cyclops killer.
That's... Iba, return to the control room on the 3rd floor.
At once.
What? That must mean that's... Wait, but if this pattern continues, then Boss has to be the next one killed.
What the hell is going on?
A chain of successive murders. Hmm?
Date, what are you doing? 6 minutes are up.
Wait! Hitomi is...
Date, you can't go any longer. Force shutdown.
No!
sense, though. After everything I know about Iris, why would she kill Renju? The brain tumor? Tuesday, day 5. E-height.
I took a look around your head, and I discovered something. Something about the new Cyclops serial killings. Apart from Ota, there are 4 victims. Shoko Nadami, Renju Okiura, Iris Sagan, and So Sejima. Who was responsible for these murders?
What was that all about?
Shoko was stabbed by Renju with an ice pick. Renju was strangled to death by Iris. So cut open Iris's body. But who shot So? It was you. In other words, all of these murders were committed by different people. There wasn't just one killer. That's how it looks on the surface, anyway. But that's not the truth, is it? There's only one culprit. One person. And that person is...
you.
Yes. You. The person in front of me right now.
You're blaming the commander of Abyss for this?
No, not Boss. The person inside Boss's head.
Oh,
Can you
shit!
at least try to make sense?
Alright, I'll explain. You know about the abandoned chemical plant in Kawasaki?
Kim?
There's a prototype sync machine there.
How the fuck do you know that in this timeline? Oh shit. Are we going full Zero
use that
Escape?
device to swap around bodies one by one.
In other words, the entire egg ends up being replaced.
Unknown. It's a fucking
Mind,
computer. I can hear it.
Consciousness, memory, they are traded. Switched.
Wait, that means Saito
I don't know where it
Tsushima.
started, but at some point, you got into Shoko's brain. Then, you got into Renju's. And got rid of Shoko's body. After Renju was Iris. You strangled Renju using Iris. After that, into So. Who you used to kill Iris and Ota at the cold storage warehouse. Now, you're in Boss's body. Inside her head.
I see. If you know that much, then I have nothing left to hide. Yes, I am the culprit behind the new Cyclops serial killings. I guess you can call me the new Cyclops killer.
Suspect. Give me the details of each crime.
Before I do, there's something I want to hear from you. How did you know about the prototype sync machine?
It's a good question.
Not
Timeline
only that,
hopping.
you also seem to know what the sync machine is truly capable of. Why is that?
That's...
Regaining your memories, are you? Human memory is fractal. If you retain even a single piece of it, it's possible to recreate the whole thing. Pieces of memories are like roots that grow into every corner of the brain, gradually, slowly, taking its time. I imagine the same thing is happening in your brain right now.
This music, though.
A fractal is a figure with self-similarity. Allow me to explain. See this? Whichever fragment you cut, you will see a similar shape. The whole is made up of its similar parts. This is called a fractal figure. Memories in the brain are similar. That is what he is explaining. He is claiming that from a few pieces, you can rebuild the memory.
I knew about the prototype from regaining my memory. Is that right? No, that's not it.
Parallel worlds exist.
Okay. Who's inside Iris during the interrogation
That was
Sunday?
me.
You imitate her well. From the way you talked and your body language, it was like the real Iris. Earlier, too, you almost had me fooled. Your imitation of Boss was perfect.
Yes, there's a reason for that. Let me define some terms first. A person's memory and sense of self. Let's call that personality. It isn't quite the right word, but it'll suffice. Now, transferring that personality into someone else's brain, let's call that parasitism. The one transferring is the parasite, the one being transferred into is the host. Are you with me so far? Moving on. Even after the personality exchange is complete, the host's memory isn't completely lost. About 1% remains in the brain. So, a parasite could use that 1% to imitate the language and behavior of the host. That's how I knew about the warehouse and Sunfish Pocket, by the way. Thanks to Renju and Iris's remaining memories. I'm telling you, it was me. Why are you making me repeat myself?
What are we making him
means
repeat
the
himself?
Somnium I entered on Sunday.
That's right. It was me.
That makes way more sense. How? How does he know about the original Cyclops killer? And something else was troubling me.
What's going on here?
Who the hell are you?
Saito. Saito Sajima.
Oh,
Congressman
shit.
Sajima's son.
I kind of figured that.
What?
I researched Saito thoroughly, but I cannot find any images of him on the internet. He is listed on the family register, but I cannot find any photographs.
Continue.
Fine. I still have time.
Time?
You'll see. So, where do you want me to start?
It's just past midnight on Tuesday. Shoko was killed on Friday. If we think of that as day 1, today is day 5. What was Saito doing those days? I decided to ask him. Day 1.
Like you guessed, my personality was in Shoko, Renju's ex-wife. That made calling Renju easy. I need to talk to you about something. He came over without question. I think it was around 4 p.m. I had him meet me at the chemical plant. I made Renju go to sleep. Synced, switched personalities, and then stabbed Shoko's discarded body with an ice pick. I took Shoko to Bloom Park by car, using the old abandoned subway line. Must have been around 8 p.m. by the time I was finished. I tied up Shoko to one of the merry-go-round horses. After that, I used Renju's phone to send a Nile message to Mizuki.
Mizuki, Daddy got caught up in something serious.
Then, I just waited for Mizuki to arrive.
Day 2.
Until next Saturday evening, my personality was inside Renju. My next target was Iris. I knew she would be suspicious if I asked her to come to Kawasaki, so I asked her to come to Sunfish Pocket first. I called her a little before 5 p.m., and she arrived just after 6. I greeted her, then convinced her to come with me. That's when Ota saw us. Anyway, I put her in the car, then headed to the chemical plant. On the way, I made her take a sleeping pill. I knew she might run once she saw where we were going. It was around 7 p.m. when I got there, and I wasted no time switching bodies. After getting Iris's body, I used a rolled-up apron to strangle Renju to death. Then I put his body in an empty oil drum I'd prepared earlier. I put that in the trunk of the car, then headed to Sunfish Pocket. But then, something I didn't anticipate happened. Waiting for the signal in Akiba, someone knocked on the window of the car. It was Ota. He asked me something about being able to drive. He was surprised, to say the least. I didn't have time to waste on him. But I couldn't risk him finding the oil drum in the trunk. Plus, if word got around that Renji's car was spotted driving around Akiba, that would foil my plans. So, I came up with a lie. I told him that I didn't have a license, so he had to keep it a secret. That's what that thing referred to in Ota's Nile messages, by the way. And just like that, I managed to escape a bad situation and headed to Sunfish Pocket as planned. The rest went exactly as you already figured out. Sunday morning, I had a recording or some such thing scheduled. Oh, I am of course referring to Iris. I didn't want to draw suspicion, so I decided to attend as planned. I went to Lemniscate and performed my job. And when I left, I ran into you, Date. To be honest, I was a little surprised. Just the previous night, I was a parasite in the body of Renju. I didn't think Ota had seen me. So, of course, I didn't expect to see you there so soon. You were on to me, but there was nothing I could do about that. If I ran, it would only increase your suspicion. So I decided to play my role. The interrogation began around 8:20 p.m., is that right? Then you synced into my mind. But you didn't get what you were looking for, did you? As a result, you had no choice but to release me. I didn't want to go home right away. I knew there might be police waiting for me. That would make it difficult to sneak out at night. And that would put my plan in jeopardy. So I asked you to take me to Marble. I tried to find an opportunity to run, but then another unexpected event occurred. I got a Nile message from Ota. I knew I could use him. So I told him I needed his help and to meet me at Marble. He did as I instructed him to do. After that, I got into the van with Ota. But because his presence was Unnecessary. I asked him to stop at a convenience store to buy me something to drink. When he was gone, I took his car and drove to my parents' house where I used to live. Yes, the Sajima residence. Of course, I knew I couldn't just walk up and ring the doorbell. Hello, Father, it's been a long time. I was also in Iris's body at the time. But I thought I could use that to my advantage.
Ironically.
So I pushed on the intercom and sure enough, my dad invited me inside. I told him this. I want you to come with me. There's something I need to show you. He was quiet for a while, but eventually agreed and got into the van with me. We arrived at the prototype sync machine around 11:50 p.m. By the time I was in the body of Sosajima, it was a new day.
Day 4.
There isn't much to talk about on Monday. Before noon, I used my old man's body to call this one Boss. You might not know this, but she and my father go back about 6 years. The two shared a terrible secret. Hinting at that was enough to get the boss to come running to me immediately. I injected her with a sedative, then brought her body to the chemical plant.
Just about at the 3-hour mark.
With
I
her,
kind of don't want to
exchanged our
stop.
bodies. And after blowing my father's brains out, I cut his body into pieces. I stuffed the meat into a vase I'd brought earlier, then drove back to my house.
We'll go
This
one
was
more.
yesterday, early Monday morning, past midnight. In my new body, I drugged Iris, put her in the van, and drove to a new location. Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. I arrived around 1, then prepared for the show for a couple hours. Of course, when I say show, I mean dismembering Iris. Because of the temperature in the warehouse, it took longer than I expected to prepare, but... well, you saw it in the video. Of course, I didn't anticipate Ota would show up. What does that make it? 3 times that brat has showed up unexpectedly? That annoyed me to no end, and I took that out on him. Dressing him up in the polar bear was an impromptu plan on my part. I didn't mean to make you think he was the killer. I just wanted to throw a wrench into the investigation. Didn't matter if you found out or not. This all happened Monday morning. I left the warehouse around 3:30 a.m.
Okay, maybe one more. Also, if anyone hears the screaming outside, I apologize. But there's some fucking psychopaths living out in a tent outside my house. I don't know what's up with that. Saito spoke with grace and no sign of remorse. I was trying to keep my anger from boiling over and kept asking him questions. Okay. With these 3 questions on the table, I think that is a good stopping point for this episode of Let's Play the Somnium Files. Join me next time when we learn all of Saito's dirty little secrets. Until then, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, ring that little bell for notifications on all my uploads, and in the description below, as well as on screen right about now. are links to my Twitch and Twitter accounts, so be sure to follow those for streaming goodness. Sorejamata. Next time should be the actual finale, so look forward to that.